Welcome one and all, whoever may be watching this will be part 10 of the excavation of Hobbs Barrow. We should be nearing the end very soon. I think it'll either be this video or the next one. Let's go.
I've got a pail of fresh milk here for you, Miss Tompkins.
You haven't.
Here.
Mum, you've saved my hide. Thank you.
Are you all right?
I'm worried about Mr. Ambrose. Any road, I'm heading back to Panswick Manor now. Would you still like to meet his lordship?
Very much so.
Now, I can't guarantee you'll be home, all right? He's a very busy man.
I'll take my chances.
Follow me, then. Come on over. It's not much further.
What time do you call this?
Sorry, Mum.
Give it here, then. What the hell is this muck?
Goat's milk, Mum.
You daft bint. Since when does his lordship take goat's milk with his tea? Oh, he will not be pleased. Get back to your sweeping before I clip you over the head.
Sorry, Mum.
Okay, I wasn't sure if she was going to start talking to her. I guess just in case anyone is wondering, there is a distinct difference in the taste of goat's milk and cow's milk.
Where is Lord Panswick?
Sorry, Mum. I can't talk. Miss Fenchurch is ever so mad at me.
I've no time for frolicking with the flock.
Do it! Frolic, please.
Hello there.
Bugger off, you whelp. This is private land.
That is well out of my reach.
Have some sugar.
I don't wish to give that away.
I'll stab you.
I don't wish to give that away. Some fine-looking flowers. I was wondering if it might be possible to speak with Lord Panswick.
Are you deaf, girl? Don't make me fetch the guards. They're armed, you know. By Christ, you're like a dog with a bone. Do you want to get yourself shot?
I can assure you the only things getting shot around here are the pheasant. And perhaps the odd grouse. Greetings, my lady. Lord James Panswick, at your disposal.
You're Lord Panswick?
As I live and breathe.
You could have told me that before.
What is life without mystery, Miss Bateman? A predictable stagger to the grave?
I was imagining someone...
Much older and far less handsome?
something like that.
See? I can read your mind, my dear. Now, may I ask, what brings you to my manor?
I wanted to ask if I could borrow some of your labourers.
Oh? For what purpose?
I intend to excavate Hobbs Barrow tomorrow, and I'm in need of some assistance.
An excavation? How very delightful. We're in the middle of our own works right this minute. Follow me, Miss Bateman. Come along. I promise I don't bite. For generations, this chapel was a place of unique devotion. And this was until some of my more ungrateful ancestors forgot him and abandoned it.
Why did they abandon it?
Men of great wealth and power can grow so comfortable that they forget they still need the divine. The sacrifices required to maintain such a relationship were no longer being made. The chapel soon turned to rubble, and with time, even the villagers forgot him. His influence endured, but only with the isolated few who lived on the very fringes of these moors. Believe it or not, my family's fortunes have dwindled ever since. Since I succeeded my father, it has become my life's work to restore this place of worship. With this sacred place rebuilt, he shall be venerated once more, and the name Panswick shall be uttered again across all of England. He guided the hands of my ancestors. Now it is time for him to guide us. Bewley is a godless place.
Have you forgotten about St. Edmund's? Father Roach might disagree.
I shall bring him back to these lands, and this chapel shall be his seat once again. A new world.
But it seems like you wish to bring back the past.
From out of the old world shall come the new. A greater truth. But I digress. Horace, my dear fellow.
Aye, your lordship.
This fair lady here is in need of some assistance. Would you and your chaps be up for a spot of digging at Hobbs Barrow tomorrow?
Hobbs Barrow? Aye, your lordship, 'tis no bother.
Good man. You're in luck, my dear. These are my finest, and they're all yours.
Thank you. I am grateful.
On one condition.
Yes?
I've heard wonders about Mary de Plancy's Bakewell puddings. I'd rather like to try them for myself.
Your lordship, you're giving me the help of your men in exchange for cakes?
Yes.
But...
Farewell, my beauty.
Wait!
Right, so we have to get some cakes. Naturally, it's not going to be a simple matter of handing things over. And I'm also going to assume, because we're playing the pronoun game here, that the god or deity that was worshipped in this church was not God, but some other he who shall not be named at this point in time. I'm sure that will be the big reveal.
Is his lordship joking about the Bakewell puddings?
No, miss. His lordship is a man of folly.
How ridiculous!
He treats you all right if you do what he asks. Please let us get on with our toil. If you do as his lordship requests, we'll help you tomorrow.
Okay, so I guess we have to go get some puddings. Somehow, with the money that we don't have.
Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. de Plancy. Do you still have some of your homemade Bakewell puddings, Mrs. de Plancy?
Oh, you're too late, pet. I've a few left, but they're set aside for someone else.
Might you please be able to bake me some more?
Sorry, I'm not in the mood for baking. Truth be told, my dear husband Albert passed away recently. Me thoughts are all over the shop.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Aye, he's in God's hands now.
Were you married to Albert a long time?
Aye, too many years to count. He were the cobbler here in Bewley, the most dashing cobbler in all of England, I used to tell him. Love is precious, pet. There's naught that can replace the hole it leaves in your heart.
I can relate to that in my own way. I wish you strength in this difficult time.
Thank you. With God's blessing, I'll get by.
May I ask who you have set aside the puddings for?
Oh, Father Roach. He won't be back until tomorrow.
Won't they be off by then?
Not at all. Besides, pet, as I told you, I'm not in the mood for all this baking chatter.
Sorry, Mrs. de Plancy. Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
That's not mine to interfere with. Hello. What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
Naught to say, except don't be sniffing around his lordship's manor. You'll end up with a round of shot in you.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me. Just mind your own business around here.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
The simple wooden cross bears a small plaque, on which is inscribed the name Albert de Plancy.
Relative, are you?
No, just looking.
He were the cobbler. Who's going to mend me boots now? Ha!
Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. de Plancy. I saw your late husband's grave, Mrs. de Plancy. I am very sorry for your loss.
Thank you, pet. I'm ashamed to say I couldn't afford naught more than a simple wooden cross. He were a colourful man, our Albert. He deserves better. He loved his flower beds. He's only been gone a fortnight, and already his plants have gone to rot. May the Lord forgive me.
Plants are difficult to maintain. I'm sure Albert would understand.
His precious hippeastrum were the first to go. I would have loved to lay one on his grave.
What does a hippeastrum flower look like?
Oh, beautiful things they are. Tall stems topped with large red flowers. Hard to grow in this climate. They were his pride and joy. The remarkable thing is there's no scent to 'em. That's why he loved 'em so much. You see, he hated anything that smelled sickly sweet. Hippeastrum were just perfect. Let me know if you come across one, won't you?
Of course, Mrs. de Plancy. What does a hippeastrum flower look?
Oh, be tall. That's yes, hippie. Let me.
Of course. Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
Okay, I'm pretty sure outside of Lord Panswick's house was the large flowers.
These matched the description of the flowers Mrs. de Plancy mentioned. There's no scent.
You get away from my hippeastrum!
Ah, apologies.
Move!
Well, that confirms it.
Okay, so somehow we need to get them.
Those flowers. May I please take one?
Are you deaf and daft? Bugger off!
A bullying old harridan. There's no point trying to speak with her. Good day.
Hello.
I really need one of those hippeastrum flowers.
Why?
It's a long story. Might you please be able to get one for me, or distract Miss Fenchurch so I can take one?
Those flowers are Miss Fenchurch's favourites. She spends hours looking after them. Sorry, Mum. It's just that I'm so worried about Mr. Ambrose.
The milkman?
Aye, we were to run away together today.
I see.
I'm worried sick that he stood me up. Without Mr. Ambrose, this job is all I have. I can't risk losing it over a flower.
I'm sorry, Miss Tompkins. I still haven't seen him.
Do you think he's abandoned me?
I'm sure that's not the case. He must have been delayed somewhere.
Could you try to find him for me, Mum? Oh, please, Mum. I'd do anything for you if you found my love.
I can try.
Oh, thank you. You're ever so kind, Mum.
Goodbye.
I'd best get back to work.
I think this is where this game is starting to lose me a little bit. Like, I was really enjoying it. But now, considering, you know, we've got to get A, but in order to get A, we need to then get B, but in order to get B, we need to get C, and so on and so forth. And then there are just those moments where I don't know what I'm doing and I get stuck.
There we are. Your shells are looking much more interesting now. I pestered Mother for years to let me bring some of your treasures here. I think she's worried that I want to follow in your path. She has hidden most of your discoveries away. I had to beg her to bring me to visit you, you know. I shouldn't worry you with all that. Do you know that I have a story for each of these pots? Well, I don't know if they're all true, but they are my memories. Even though I was so young, I still remember our adventures together. Would you like me to share my memories of them? Well, I'm going to, whether you like it or not. You were incredibly excited about this one. I hadn't gone on an expedition with you yet. You were so happy about it, showing it to Mother and I. You didn't stop talking about it for hours. I thought, how can Daddy be so excited over some old broken pottery? But it wasn't long until I understood. I think you brought this one back from a trip abroad. I would have loved to go with you, but Mother didn't want me to. I remember you being so proud of it. It looks ancient. This is from the first dig I remember you taking me on. The excavation of West Kennet Long Barrow. I found it wedged behind a stone as you ate your sandwich. You said, "Now there's a tiny urn for a tiny girl." Mother was so angry when you brought this one home, wasn't she? "William, that simply will not do. It's taking up all the space on the mantelpiece." Once you moved it to your study, I remember creeping in to take a peek at it. We found this one together in that mucky old barrow near Avebury. I think it was the second time you'd taken me on a dig with you. I remember you bringing it up to your face to look inside and shrieking in horror. "There's a bloody rat in there," you screamed. I almost forgot. While I was searching for your pots in the shed, I found one of your manuscripts. I thought Mother had burnt all your notebooks, but she missed one. It was an account of barrows across the east of England. I managed to read it all before Mother took it away. Daddy, it was fascinating. I've decided that is what I want to do with my life. I'm going to travel the country, excavating and documenting my own finds. Well, as soon as I'm old enough to escape Mother, that is. When you're feeling better, we can go out on expeditions together again, just like we used to. I promise you'll get better, Daddy. I'll do whatever it takes to make it so.
Alright, that's good to know that at least I'm on the right track.
There's something ahead on the road.
Mr. Ambrose! Mr. Ambrose!
My God! Mr. Ambrose! I'm going to help you.
This is interesting. I have a knife.
Please hold still. I'm going to cut you free. He had been so tightly bound that I could barely cut through without hurting him further. His mouth was stuffed full of flowers of a most peculiar scent. I was dismayed at such savagery, and wondered if the feral folk Father Roach had mentioned were responsible for this abhorrent act. After some considerable effort, I managed to cut him free. Are you all right?
Who were lost in visions of hell itself, the devil. I saw the devil.
Who did this to you?
I don't remember. Oh, the terrible sights I saw. I won't forget them till my last breath.
Are you Mr. Ambrose?
Yes, Edward Ambrose.
You were to meet Miss Tompkins today.
My love. Oh, my darling love.
Let me take you to her. Here, take my hand. As we made the arduous trek to Panswick Manor, I probed Mr. Ambrose on who had done this to him. He insisted that he didn't remember anything, except for his nightmarish visions.
My love.
Eddie! Jesus, what happened to you? Were you in a fight?
Now, fret not, my love.
I thought you'd abandoned me.
Never. Thank your friend here for helping me out of a bind.
Oh, Eddie!
Let's get out of here, my darling.
Hang on.
You thieving bint! I'll have your guts for garters!
Oh, stick it where the sun don't shine, you bitter old sow!
The cheek!
Here you are, Mum.
Thank you, Miss Tompkins.
No, thank you for finding my poor Eddie.
Aye, thank you, lass.
Let's go, Eddie. I'm never setting foot on this god-forsaken estate again.
Good luck, you two.
At least that wasn't as difficult as finding the herbs.
I have something for you.
You found them? Oh, you dear child. Let's take them straight to Albert. You'll come with me, won't you?
Of course, Mrs. de Plancy.
You know, the things I miss most about him are the things that used to annoy me. The click of his jaw as he chewed his sandwiches, leaving his tools all around the house. The way he'd never back down from an argument. He's just quiet at home now. Silence. The funny thing is, that's what he always craved. Peace and quiet. He were a good man, our Albert.
Sounds like he was. I'm so sorry.
Do you fear death, pet?
It's the part in between that concerns me most.
Whatever do you mean?
My father had an accident many years ago. Ever since, he's been in a state where he can neither speak nor move.
Oh, that does sound dreadful. I'm sorry, pet.
I believe his mind to still be active, but perhaps this is the worst of all fates. To be trapped in one's own body and unable to express oneself while the world continues around you. That is what I fear.
Maybe he'll get better one day.
I'd do anything to make it so. Those flowers look beautiful.
They do. Albert will be smiling down on us. Pet, I left me basket inside the church. You'll find some Bakewell puddings in there. You can have them.
Oh, you...
I insist. You've brought an ounce of happiness into my day, dear. It's only just that I return some.
Thank you, Mrs. de Plancy.
To be truthful with you, I was saving him for myself. I shouldn't be so selfish. Lord forgive me.
You're nothing of the sort.
I'll stay here with Albert a bit longer. You go back to your day, Pet. Lord be with you.
And you, Mrs. de Plancy.
Hey, now you can take a basket.
Here they are.
Yay, we got magical Bakewell puddings. Woo, this is all coming together in some way, shape or form. Alright, I shall actually leave this video here and we can end this day in the next video and do some digging. I'm assuming there can't be that much to the Barrow itself. Either we dig it up and there are troubles and we get stuck, or we run away and that's kind of that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Thank you all for watching, whoever has been. As always, I greatly appreciate it. And on that note, I'll see you on the flip side. Bye!